Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. This week, the focus is on politics, with excerpts from the reorganization of the Township Council held New Year's Day, and a few minutes of conversation between Assemblyman Jeff Warsh and visitors to the East Brunswick Senior Center on Wednesday. Also this week, Karen Burke and Carol Bruno offer an invitation to residents with youngsters to a new rendition of a classic, The Lizard of Oz. And we'll take a look at artwork created by students at Chittick School. But first, here's a look at programming next week on Channel 8. Exercise your back and try out some aerobics Monday morning with Lenore Kulick. That's at 10 o'clock on Look Great, Feel Great. At 10:30, it's Stories from the Library for 4-year-olds. Tuesday night's lineup includes EB18 at 7 o'clock and Sports Talk at 7:30. Phil Hill interviews Drew Pearson, former All-Pro wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. Wednesday night, Dolly Basta travels to Chester, Pennsylvania to see an outstanding performance by the Lumsey Sisters, gospel singers who call New Brunswick home. That's at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, the Rutgers Film Co-op is highlighted on the arts. A new edition of This Week in East Brunswick premieres at 7 o'clock Thursday night. And at 7:30, Patty Sullivan offers a salute to women in the arts on aging aspects. Watch the Channel 8 Community Bulletin Board for additional programming information and coverage of East Brunswick High School sports.
The first day of 1995 meant a change in the face of East Brunswick's Township Council. The New Year's Day council meeting was shown live on Channel 8 and featured 3 council members taking the oath of office. Republican Thomas Clark began his second term on the council along with his running mate, David Zarnowski. And for the first time since the election in 1989, a Democrat, Bill Neary, was elected to the council and then sworn in on Sunday.
It's hard to believe that it's been 4 years since I've last been here for an oath of office. A lot of things have happened in the past years, a lot of good things, I believe, for the township and the residents of East Brunswick. And I'm just grateful I've had the opportunity to be part of it, and that you, the voters, have given me the opportunity to come back for a second term to do the job that I began 4 years ago. It's a tough job, and it's a tough road to get to where we are today, all of us, to be elected and hold this position of councilman. It's a tough position not only on the individual who runs for the office, but a tough road for the family of that person, because there's a lot of demands that are put on the family. There's a lot of times that you say to yourself, why am I doing this? I'm driving everyone crazy. My wife's not talking to me. The kids are mad at me. But yet you continue to do what you're driven to do because you enjoy doing it.
Well, here I am. People have warned me about dirty political tricks and backroom maneuvering that goes on around. I was surprised how quickly these kind of things can occur. Shortly after the election, I learned about how quick things occur. My head was slightly inflated, my ego was feeling pretty good, and my confidence was fairly strong. And that's when Councilman Riccobono had to burst my bubble. He had to point out to me that not only am I the newest member of this council, but I'm also the oldest. Thanks a lot, Tony. Anytime you want to play a little one-on-one basketball, I'm ready. I want to personally thank the 6,114 people who elected me to this council. I am extremely proud of this, and I will do my best to maintain your confidence. For the people who didn't vote for me, or who didn't vote at all, I want to remind you that I represent you also.
It is truly an honor today to be sworn in as your councilman. To those who voted for me on Election Day, I express my sincere thanks. To those who didn't, I hope I may earn your trust over the next 4 years. I would first like to thank my wife, Linda, who throughout the entire campaign supported and encouraged me. Her support and her patience and her inspiration has allowed me to pursue all of my goals and aspirations and has helped me to find solutions to better serve the residents of East Brunswick. I would like to thank everyone who worked so hard for my re-election. Without all of you, I could not be here today. I would also like to congratulate Tom Clark and offer congratulations as well as a welcome to William Neary, our newest colleague on the council. My parents were always a guiding force in my life. They taught me to choose right from wrong, to strive to always do my best, to care about people, and to try to make a difference in the world.
The council then elected former council vice president Vincent LeBlanc to the presidency, and then Councilman Anthony Riccobona was chosen to be the vice president. Council members were then appointed to represent the council on various committees and boards. Also appointed on Sunday was the new township attorney, David Himmelman. Himmelman represented the Library Board of Trustees during the past year, as well as the East Brunswick Sewerage Authority. Himmelman replaces Bert Bush, the attorney who served the township for almost 20 years and then stepped down at the end of 1994. The next Township Council meeting is scheduled for Monday, January 9th at 8 o'clock in the Municipal Courtroom.
State Assemblyman Jeff Warsh was the guest speaker Wednesday afternoon at the East Brunswick Senior Center. Warsh began by telling the seniors what he sees happening in government, including future transportation.
Transportation. Many people say that New Jersey has the third world transportation center, and as seniors, you know that better than anyone. You can get from a lot of areas to New York City, but you can't get from East Brunswick to Edison too easy now, can you? So that's one of the things that we're working on very strongly, and you will see that right off the bat. It's nice speaking to a group of seniors because you know the way things used to be, and I'll tell you the way things used to be is the way they're going to become. We're going to see trolleys all over New Jersey, and this isn't 50 or 60 years down the road. The ground's going to break in September in Hudson County because they're the most congested county, Hudson and Bergen counties, and in 7 years, it's called the Circle of Mobility. People were calling it the Cycle of Futility because it just wasn't happening. And now $7.6 billion, that's big, $1 billion has been appropriated, sitting, and is going to be started to be spent this spring. And in 7 years, there'll be a rather substantial, it's called light rail transit. That's the new 90s term for it, but it's trolley cars. We're bringing trolley cars back. None of the people here are old enough to know from the research that I've done and that there were trolleys all over Middlesex County at one point.
Yeah, but why are you bringing them back?
They were good.
Why trolley cars?
They were good.
Well,
You're going to have rubber wheels, or are you going to have to put down tracks?
there's going to be tracks all over.
You're really too aggressive.
Yeah, so, it became really a war between the automobile and the trolley, and Detroit won that war for the automobile, but we're finding out now, as you hear about all the things that we're going to have to this oxygenated fuel that's probably making some of you sick, it's certainly making me sick. Automobiles are creating more problems than they're worth, and you can't believe the amount of money that we have to spend on highways and resurfacing roads and all that. There's a lot less maintenance for trolleys than there are for other areas. And what we've also found is, Portland, Los Angeles, Miami, Dallas, there's major cities all over that when they introduced trolleys, they found an enormous amount of job creation because businesses wanted to be near the trolleys because the federal law is requiring employers to limit the amount of cars that they bring into work every day. That means you got to get them there somehow. And you're going to do it with vans, that's still automobiles. You can do it with buses, it's impractical. They're doing it with trolleys, and they're finding that it's caused an enormous amount of job creation. It's caused a lowered amount of taxes required to support trolleys versus highways. But at any rate, that's where we're going in New Jersey as well.
Assemblyman Warsh also fielded questions from the audience.
What are the chances of the legislature passing a adjustment? It's been in the papers recently, the PAAD ceiling. Every year people fall off of that roll because of the increase, the cost of living adjustment to Social Security, and there's been bills introduced to tie the COLA increase on Social Security to that, so people whose income rises because Social Security goes up by 2.2%, that they don't fall off the PAAD eligibility rolls.
That's going to be done, and it's going to be done on an emergency basis. There are articles in the paper that Democrats are urging that whether it was legal or not, the government should just do it. The governor should just do it by executive order. The governor has no authority to do that by executive order. It has to be done by the legislature, and it's kind of stupid, really, to suggest that the governor do something that we all know is illegal just so that you get into the newspapers. We're back. Let's see, I'll tell you what our first actual session is. We are back into session on the 23rd of January when we'll actually be voting. Committees are meeting before that. All those bills will be released by committees and be moved through both houses and on the governor's desk at the end of January. That's a fait accompli. That's done. Yeah. I think that, rather than tinkering with the system, which is what's always happened in the past, I think that the governor and the Republican legislature is doing the right thing and that we're changing the way government operates. We're making the only way that your tax burden is going to go down. It's not a matter of saying, well, wait a minute, I already paid my school taxes. Let someone else pay it. We don't want to shift the burden. We need to make the burden smaller. If we make the burden smaller on everyone, then it's going to be easier for everyone to continue to walk up the hill of life that we all have to walk. And I think we're doing the right thing by making government smaller.
Hi, I'm Amy Fisher, and today I'm at Chittick School with Mrs. Rita Brown, who is one of the second grade teachers here. And Mrs. Brown, the second grade classes here have been involved in a very exciting project. First, could you tell us all the names of the teachers who have been working on this?
Yes. Myself, of course, Mrs. Bobby Weisberg, and Mrs. Patricia Reeder.
And what exactly have the classes been doing?
Okay, well, we were thumbing through some magazines, teachers' magazines, and we came across a book called Rembrandt. And we thought it would be very, very exciting to introduce art into second grade for 7 and 8-year-olds to be introduced into the world of art. We ordered the book Rembrandt, and then we ordered Monet, Picasso. We have Van Gogh, and we're going to be ordering some more. And what we did is we read it as a class, and we introduced many different projects. The children were very, very excited to read about these famous artists, and they have done many reproductions of their works and different activities, spelling activities, reading, writings connected with these famous artists.
I understand that many of the children really became very enthusiastic about art because of this. And you said some had their parents take them to the museum?
Right. Some children have gone home and asked their parents over the dinner table, what are we doing on Sunday? And the parents said nothing. And they said, well, can we please go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art to see a Monet or a Rembrandt? And the parents were flabbergasted.
Well, I think now we want to have you talk to some of the children about how they feel about this project.
I'd love to. These boys and girls studied Rembrandt. Can anyone tell me how you went about the introduction and studying Rembrandt in class? Paul?
Well, it was kind of easy because all you need to do is read about it, and, well, there's a lot to learn about him.
Okay. Did anyone learn anything special about Rembrandt? The way he painted? What did he use?
He piled on paint to make the jewels stand out, so the paintings would be more valuable.
Okay, that's right. What about his use of colors? Who would like to answer that?
He used dark and light colors so the light would stand out.
Christy, what are you holding and how did you go about doing this picture that you're holding?
I made a picture of my teacher. It was a little hard drawing it because you had to stand still, and it was a little hard for her to stand still, so we couldn't get a very good portrait of her.
Why did you draw a portrait of Mrs. Weisberg?
Because we thought it was going to be easy, but it really wasn't.
This group of children studied Monet. Who would like to tell me something that they learned about Monet and the way Monet, his style of painting? John?
He invented Impressionism, and he liked to use light colors, and he liked to make the reflections in the water.
Okay, very good. Jeanette, can you describe the picture that you made?
It's a Japanese footbridge, and he used a lot of light colors, and he built a water garden there in Gavarni.
Very, very good. Brendan, what would you like to add about Monet?
The last 10 years of his life, he drew pictures of his water gardens. And he made his water gardens in his backyard.
Very good. Michelle, can you tell us something about the type of brush strokes? And when we look at a Monet painting, how should we look at it?
Like when you're very close, you only see brush strokes, and when you step back a little, it looks like you're really there.
These girls are in Mrs. Reeder's class, and they studied Picasso. What can you tell me about Picasso and the different styles of painting he used? Leilani?
He did Cubism, the Blue Period. His friend died and he was sad, so he made the Blue Period.
Why did he use the color blue?
He thought it would be a sad color.
Very, very good. Okay, can you tell us something about your picture?
I made a clown that was really sad.
Very, very good. Okay. Amy, can you tell us something else about Picasso and Cubism?
Well, Cubism made him very famous, and he didn't only paint like this. He painted in Cubism so you hardly can see anything.
What is Cubism?
Like in square, you draw things in like squarish.
Very good. Can you explain your picture to us?
I drew a girl in a park.
Very good. How come the eyes aren't in the right places?
Because that's how Picasso drew it. He drew them in different places. He gave them more than one thing, like 2 noses and that stuff.
Hi everyone, I'm Karen Burke, Manager Recreation, and Happy New Year to you. And relative to New Year, I'd like to introduce Carol Bruno. She's a Rec Supervisor for the Division of Recreation, and she'd like to give you some information and an update on our first holiday event, the kickoff for 1995.
Well, Karen, in the past years, we've had this kickoff the day after Thanksgiving, but seems like in East Brunswick, everybody goes away the day after Thanksgiving. So we've changed this kickoff to the first Sunday in the new year, and I think that maybe we're going to catch a lot more people looking for a free activity to do with their kids. This particular program is called The Lizard of Oz.
I love the name.
Oh, and what great costuming. You can't believe how neat it is. The young woman in this program creates all of the costumes herself. They're absolutely magnificent. And it's going to be a takeoff on the traditional fairy tale. However, there's going to be a lot more audience participation and a lot of balloon creativity.
Oh, that's great for the kids.
And the kids get to take the balloons
Actually,
home.
it's great for moms and dads, too.
That's true, true. This particular program, the entrance or the fee to come in is going to be donated to the Mayor Scholarship Fund. For
And
the
I believe
needy,
that's what, $2?
$2, that's right. That will go for the needy children in town for summer programming or other programming that they may not be able to afford themselves. This particular program is also being co-sponsored by the Olive Garden. We're very fortunate to have them be interested in creating programming for families and children in East Brunswick, and we're really excited to have them on board.
This is a really big special event for us, and this is a quality performance, Broadway atmosphere, and I know that you've done a really good job in promoting it. We expect to have a full house at the high school. So let's just reiterate one more time. What time on Sunday?
Sunday, which is January the 8th, at 3 o'clock at the high school. And I would say come early.
Come early, get a good seat, and make sure you see Carol and I. And we'll be there to greet you, along with some other people from the Arts Commission. We thank the Arts Commission, too, for helping us promote this, because it is a co-sponsored event.
Right.
And Carol, just very quickly before we move on, Arts Commission, we have something going on almost every month. What's in February? And then we'll give you an update next week, folks. But Just very quickly, what's on for next month?
The first Saturday, this first time for the Arts Commission to be sponsoring a program on Saturday evening to attract families so that you can have a relaxing early evening Saturday night in the Senior Center. Jim Albertson, the folklorist of New Jersey, who tells wonderful tales and sings wonderful songs about the Jersey Devil, about the Ramapo Mountains, about the Jersey Shore. Come, it's going to be wonderful. It's free. 7 o'clock in the Senior Center.
In the Senior Center,
in the Senior Center.
But we'll give you a more detailed update about that next week. Carol, one other thing before we go for this week, folks. I know that people are not thinking about summer, but we're already working on our Spring and Summer magazine, which will be out to the residents the end of February. But maybe you can tell them about where to go for a job and job opportunities for our young folks and older folks.
Yes, we are currently recruiting for our day camp staffs, DAISY staff, our instructional programs in the summer, the aquatic center. We're looking for staff, and we're looking for the residents to come and have an opportunity in 6 to 8 weeks of programming and money.
Money. If you need to make money to stay in
right.
school,
Just give us a call at the Recreation Office, and we can give you more details about what positions are available.
Right. And it's big changes this year, folks, in the hopefully in the day camp program. So keep your eyes on the newspapers and the upcoming magazine for all the details. We've made some wonderful, wonderful changes. Carol's done an excellent job with her core staff, our part-time core staff. So we're very, very appreciative. And Carol, my personal thanks to you for doing a great job. And as far as you folks are concerned, Happy New Year again, a healthy one from all of us at the Division of Recreation, and we'll see you next week.
Right. Take care.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Amy Fisher, and I'm here to invite everyone to come to a performance of the Nutcracker at East Brunswick High School at 3 p.m. on Saturday, January the 7th. The presentation is by the New Jersey Ballet Theater Ensemble, and it's being sponsored by the East Brunswick Education Foundation. The proceeds from the performance will go to the foundation's work of enhancing and enriching programs for students throughout the district. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for students and senior citizens, and they will be available at the door. That's 3 p.m., January 7th.
Tonight on Channel 8, stay tuned at 7:30 to see the premiere edition of Mayor Ira Oskowski's new live call-in program, EB Online. The mayor wants to be able to hear questions directly from residents of East Brunswick. His first guest on the program is the township's business administrator, Ray Stone, who can fill residents in on information about several programs and projects in the township. Be sure to watch tonight at 7:30 because it's live on Channel 8. If you are watching this edition of This Week in East Brunswick at 8 o'clock or on Saturday, you can watch a rebroadcast of the mayor's program on Saturday, January 7th at 12:30 in the afternoon or on Thursday, January 19th at 7:30. That's EB Online with Mayor Ira Oskowski.